Gambo.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, I spelled Gam. Oh,
No, it's like
Jambo.
jam, like a
Jambo.
jam, like a
yeah.
jamboree.
Okay,
Like,
I was thinking
We've
gambling.
had a couple segments where we have Cody can't say words good. Yeah. So we're
Yeah, bring them out, and I mean, if you can't say a word good, let me know, because it would be really funny to just make a clip of all the things people can't say.
Right.
And we just
Aluminum.
aluminum.
what's the word? I can't say Joe's job. Iron working.
Iron worker?
Iron worker. I say iron wrong. I can't even put wrong in iron. See, is that wrong? Iron?
I could say that's the first time I've ever heard somebody struggle with that.
Oh, Jesus.
The only thing
Christ.
I was like that when I was little. I couldn't pronounce the letter R at all, and I had to go to speech classes for that.
Well, I'm 28, so I'm fucked. I can't say shit now, I guess.
They were giving me OK Boomer last week.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
if you want to make fun of how old Max is, we're creating that a little segment too. Is how old is Max?
How old are you, Max?
88. Same, we're all the
Today?
same age. Yeah.
But after this podcast, he's gonna be 110.
Yeah.
He ages
Okay,
like
boomer.
Are we,
fine wine.
Is this the clap?
We're ready for the clap.
All right.
We're ready for the
Joe's
clap.
about to give us a clap. Let's do it. Here we go.
And he's hitting the green.
All right.
What a nice shot by Joe.
So the Jambo story.
Yeah. So Gambler 500, the Jambo, where it all started. We saw it was for the first Gambler 500 of Michigan, and it was on Facebook, and we're like, all right, we got to do this. Let's find just the most ridiculous vehicle we can. So I'm scrolling Craigslist.
We should talk about what the Gambler is.
Okay, yeah. Gambler 500. So it's a group of a bunch of people that have to buy $500 or less cars, and it's like a 500-mile road trip, off-road, on-road, all over the place in Detroit. It started in Detroit and then ended up north on truck trails and stuff.
But it also, you have to have $500. You're supposed to
Yeah.
stick with $500.
Yeah. So you're supposed to have $500 starting. Well, we kind of broke the rules a little bit. We paid like $700 for this thing. So I'm scrolling Craigslist, and I find a 1979 G30 Jamboree camper RV.
Nice.
Call the guy up. He's like, oh, yeah, come take a look at it. Gives me an address. So we all jump in my truck, drive down there. And he wanted like $1,500 to start. So we drive down there, and we pull into this trailer park. And he's like, well, it's actually not here. It's over at my aunt's house. Just follow me over here. It's just like, okay.
That's a good way to get murdered.
And it's just
Sketchier,
sketch.
yeah.
It's sketch.
Yeah. Because this is down like
Didn't start well, and it's not
What
going
city
well.
was this?
Brighton, I think.
it's south of Brighton.
South of Brighton. But it's like nothing there. Like middle nowhere.
BFE.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then there's a trailer park. And I'm pretty sure he, like, just him and his family lived at the trailer park. Like,
Yeah.
compound kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So
Just, like, weird stuff.
Yep. So we follow the guy over to his aunt's house, like 5 miles away, and here it is, sitting there, parked in this lot. And we go and hop in it, get it started and everything. It's like, all right, it runs good. He's like, well, let's take it for a drive. And he's in the driver's seat. I'm in the passenger seat. And we're cruising along, and he drives it for like 5-10 miles. He's like, all right, you want to drive? I'm like, sure. And I go to get out the passenger door, and there's no door handle. And he's like, oh, yeah, I took that off so the girls can't get out.
What
And-
the fuck?
Yeah. And so there's like 4 of us, and we all just look at each other like, are you fucking kidding me? Who
serious?
are we with here? And so it's like, all right, kind of weirded out. I just, like, he gets out of the driver's door, and I just kind of shimmy across and get into the driver's seat. Drives good, whatever. It had, like, mismatched sized tires on it, so it was kind of wobbly. But it was like, all right. And so we ended up getting it for, like, $700. And the first thing we do, we drive it to an auto parts store to get a door handle.
yeah.
So we're sitting there.
For the girls.
Yeah, exactly. So sitting there in the parking lot, just digging through the glove box and everything. There's the door handle.
Yep.
Like he literally took the handle off.
Like, he was,
like-
we're starting to think this guy, like, was not
He was
lying.
being honest.
Yeah.
He was being honest.
Wait a minute. So this is in south of where? Brighton?
Brighton.
Yeah, just south of Brighton.
He told you he took the door handle off for the girls.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the girls can't get
the
out.
girls can't get out. And another side note, it was really hard to get the rear door open, like
Yeah.
the camper door open. Like it took some force.
Yeah.
It would always catch. It was like fucked with.
Like you're saying a petite girl couldn't do
Oh
it.
no,
Like
no.
someone tried.
Not a
like
chance.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like like
was
we ended up trying
reinforced.
we ended up had to fix it to make it like work properly.
Dear God.
Yeah, so it was definitely like super creepy. And at that point, we also bought a gallon of bleach and just like cleaned everything. And we burnt the mattresses that were in
Yeah.
it because it was just like, this
What
is way
hap-
too creepy.
Whatever
Yeah, what
happened,
happened?
That
whatever
makes-
happened.
That makes you sound like the murderer now.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
trying to
Gallon
cover
of
up somebody
bleach
else's.
and
Whatever it
burn a
was.
mattress. Holy
But
shit.
inside of this thing was amazing because I mean, obviously, it didn't have the stickers. When you
It
got
started
it,
off
but-
really nice, actually.
Yeah.
Like it had a full kitchen and everything,
Yeah.
and a bathroom, and we continued to just like get stupid drunk and have parties. And
Yeah.
when Trent would get really fucked up, we always had a hatchet in there for some reason, and we just started like blowing out shit, like just cutting stuff up.
So this is you got this. This is before the Gambler 500.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
this
yeah.
is like 3-4 months before the Gambler.
Before it.
It was there was still snow.
Did you plan on doing it at the time? You
Yeah.
bought it for that reason.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
bought
Okay,
it for the
okay.
Gambler, and at the time I was just keeping it at my property because it was
Oh, okay.
before I built my house. So we just like would go out there and party and get stupid, and so it ended up getting just totally destroyed inside. So we ripped out the kitchen and turned it into like a lounge seat and stuff, and we ended up putting like 2,000 stickers on all the walls, and there's pictures of Charles Manson in the windows and stuff. We just made it super, super creepy. And
Wait a minute.
Trent really like,
Trent.
did
Yeah,
the
this was
ritual
Trent. And the
on-
bathroom.
There was
too,
the bathroom was like
with the upside down crosses.
yeah, there's upside
and-
down crosses. in
Okay,
it.
who's Trent?
one of our good buddies from
Yeah.
high school, and
So now, Max, you were involved in this Gambler 500.
I went on the Gambler. Yeah.
Knocks on the door. Someone's knocking on the door.
Oh, who
I
is
think
it?
it's probably my wife. Yeah. Ashley wanted to come by and say hi.
busted.
Busted.
Yeah, well, no, she called me, and I was like, something's happening. If she's calling me, and because your
Yeah,
phone's doing
because I told
okay.
her my phone would be occupied, basically.
Gotcha.
There's
There
all
it
sorts of
is.
shit going on. Is it okay? I
Anyway,
heard a.
yeah,
Did
yeah.
anybody else hear
I
the
did.
boom?
I did. I'm
I
just
Yeah,
like,
freaked. I
I
thought it
thought
was
so
the
too.
ceiling. I was like,
like that was this place kind of haunted.
dude,
All
I
right,
was
maybe.
like, is
A
this
little
shit
bit.
coming down?
maybe.
I was
Holy
thinking
shit.
cops from the flamethrower. but-
Oh my god.
Is that you? Oh,
Hey.
What's up, Ashley?
You want to come watch?
Here, you can right over here.
Go in the Marta chair. If you want to go.
The
You
Marta-
want to be on the chair?
You might have to remove the fan there, but that's the Marta chair.
Yeah.
No, that's no use that. Oh yeah, you're.
Oh, you're
if
good.
you're comfortable, you're comfortable.
So you heard the connection, right? So Cody's dating Marta, and you guys remember?
Oh, I
Marta.
remember Mark
Yeah.
back from the 203 days.
From 203.
Wait, you remember Marta? What
Oh,
the
yeah.
fuck? Am
Oh,
I
yeah.
the? You know when I
She
met
would
her-
come. She come
She
down.
came out.
She
yeah,
came down.
She was,
to
Down
to
to
Michigan
Michigan
State.
State.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes. You're right. Yeah, because
Yeah.
she's
She
like
was
'cause,
there.
yeah.
and-
really good friends with
Ashley
Ashley.
and Marta have known each other since like
Yeah, it's like me and Joe. Me-
birth basically.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
me
yeah,
and-
she would come to the house anytime that Ashley would come to the
Pretty
house.
often.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's good to know.
What?
Well, I knew she did, but I didn't realize you were there. That's all.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of in and out all the time. I was
Yeah.
always working.
Well, we should finish up about the Gambler though.
Yeah.
This-
I,
this
and I
is-
have
this
one more
was-
question before you start
Oh, yeah.
because
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out. So, Max, you were already friends with all these guys,
Yeah.
and then you guys decided the Gambler 500 was something cool to do.
Yes.
So you bought the RV.
Yep.
It sat on your property for 3-4 months.
It
Yep.
needed a lot of work.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was something else.
So
The roof was like split and it leaked a lot of water. So
that
we-
was basically my next question. Like, what
Oh, yeah.
shit did you have to do to it to
It
make it
was-
drive?
it pretty much it was like me doing the roof, but anything like Trent would get drunk. He'd be like, I would like build 2 steps and he would do like 3 steps breaking it down.
You're-
But
The thing went through a lot of stages of construction, deconstruction.
Yes.
So we got the roof all resealed. We
Yeah.
had to put a paint job on it because it was just like off white and yellow stripes, and it was just
On
hideous.
the outside?
Yeah. So we
Yeah.
painted the whole thing army green. And
Nice.
we put like army stickers on the outside of it, and they're painted upside down crosses on it. And
Charles Manson.
it
Everything.
was super offensive, and it was awesome. And like we had to do some maintenance stuff. Like we ended up having to put brakes on it, and
tires.
yeah, we ended up putting 6 tires on it because it was a dually, and it had mismatched sized tires, so it like
On
drove
the
like,
because there's 4 wheels on a dually axle.
Uh,
There's-
yeah, in the
yes.
rear.
Yes.
So it was
And
like
they had how the fuck do you get away with that?
I have no idea.
Well, because we find out that they had 16.5 inch tire rim size, and which is very hard to find.
Yeah.
Tires.
Outside of the 70s. Yeah.
Yeah, like seriously. So like we had to like hunt these things down, but we're like, my dad's like, if you're going on 500 miles, you guys need tires.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, well, you're right. So I think my dad ended up donating those to us. If I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
But then after it was destroyed by Trent, you guys put stickers all over them, which
To
was pretty
cover up
fun.
a lot of the
The
damage.
holes,
Just the holes
Yeah,
and
we
the-
put up plywood because of the water like ruined the walls. I mean, the
Everything
people,
was delaminating.
Yeah.
The people, we think they took it to NASCAR events and just were on the top
And took
just-
girls.
It took girls.
Yeah.
And took
and
girls.
Traffic.
and just overweight.
Oh yeah, sorry, trafficked girls,
Yeah.
not took. It was overweight, so they took big girls.
I just well, it did. It had
They
like
get
a
what they
roof
got.
rack. It had like the heaviest roof rack made out of just like wood.
Yeah.
And I had to rip all that off, and it was just holding in water, and that was half the problem.
Yeah. Because
And
how much do you think it weighed? Probably about 8,000 pounds. I mean, it was
all day 10.
all day,
all day
10,
10.
all day
Holy
10.
shit!
All day
I mean,
10.
that was solid, man. But at the end of the day, like, yeah, when we
We ran it
we
hard.
got it hard. I mean, it did work.
I wish we had video and pictures of it because we had that thing full blown airborne jumping
There's a-
over.
there
Yeah, there
is
is
a
a
video.
video.
There
yeah,
is
we'll,
video.
We'll post a video
Yeah.
for sure. We'll post a video.
Oh yeah, there's video of us jumping this thing
Yeah.
in Detroit.
Well, we should talk about like what the gambler was, because like I mean I remember you guys called me like the night before or a couple nights before, and you were like, we're fucking doing
Well,
this.
and
like,
then I'm the best one is like, hey, can we go park in front of your house? 'Cause
Yeah.
that's when you were living in Royal Oak
Yeah,
at the
I had
time.
Royal
We're
Oak.
like, yeah, let's do it.
let's do this. So you guys showed up. We parked there and drank a little bit that night. But I remember it was like early April or something, and it
Yeah.
was cold.
It was.
and
Well, was it early or late?
It was
April?
early.
it was sometime April. Yeah,
I mean,
23rd.
it should have been warmer than what it
should have been
was.
better,
It should have
yeah.
been warmer because it was like in the 30s.
Because I initially was wearing shorts, and that lasted like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
This was last year.
No,
it was a couple
this
years
is-
ago.
2 or 3
Yeah.
years ago. The
Yeah, that
first
was a
one.
fucked up winter.
But then it was like we show up at whatever in Troy, and it was like 1,000 ridiculous vehicles, and
Oh,
like
it's bigger than anybody
Yeah.
expected.
You guys
massive.
mentioned the jump, and like you got it on
Oh, yeah.
video. How Max said something about a rat shit
Yeah.
coming
Oh,
out.
yeah.
So to lay out the landscape of it, you had to jump railroad tracks, like when it gets really kind of bumpy.
Well, we had to
So,
do a bunch
like,
of tasks.
Yeah, so there was tasks. There was like
Okay.
waypoints like on the sheet, and
Yep.
one of it we wanted to do everything in this RV.
Yeah.
I mean, we were if it broke, it broke. We
Yeah.
were ready to part ways with it, and one of the things was a jump, and we're like, "Fuck it, let's
Yeah.
do it."
Well, we didn't even know till we like got close. Remember, it was like a line of cars, and we're like, "What's going on at this one?" And all of a sudden, we got closer and closer, and see these things like, okay, I think we have a pretty good idea.
But this
what's
is also
happening.
early on, so a
Yeah.
lot of people were just kind of taking
taking
it
it
easy.
easy. Yeah.
Because it was the very first gambler too. Like it's never been done in Michigan. Like this was the first one.
So that was a first one.
Yeah, this is the
See, the way I thought it was multiple. I thought there was at
Well,
least
they're
2 or
in the-
3 that went on. but
There
now
is now.
there has
yeah.
been now. Like I said,
Yeah.
I think this was 17
Okay.
I think they've been around, but they haven't been to
in
Detroit.
Oregon.
This was, like-
Oregon is where it originated.
yeah, because all the people were meeting from with Jeeps were like from Oregon. I remember,
Yeah,
and I think it was the first one in Michigan.
it was
Yeah.
100%.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Oh shit.
I mean, you got to remember the guy who set it up
Yeah.
was a sex shop or what?
sex
A warehouse? Warehouse?
Yeah. Privco.
Yeah,
I think it
Privco.
was. Yeah, Privco. The world's
Wait.
most private
he
company.
sells he sells sex toys and stuff online like that, and like he has so many different things. He sells bulletproof vests and
Nice.
like riot gear, and
he's the
you can also get the Great American Challenge from him if you want. Like,
What's the Great American Challenge?
Google it. It's a monster dildo.
It's an arm.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, an arm can go up there, but how thick of an arm?
It's
It's a thick arm.
It's
oh
like-
yeah, it's a
Oh.
monster. Yeah,
Oh boy.
So,
I don't want that to be on my fucking internet history.
yeah.
The Great
was-
American Challenge. I thought you were talking about the car thing.
yeah.
Well, essentially, yeah, it's the cards.
Yeah, it was really cool though. I mean, we showed up and we figured like maybe 50 people would show up.
Right.
The guy that organized it thought maybe 50 people would show up
Yeah.
because
it started
that's
on Facebook.
Yeah, he
That's-
runs a
Yeah.
sex shop. He doesn't run a
Oh,
car
we didn't.
thing.
Yeah, we didn't even know this. At
Yeah,
the
we had
time.
no idea.
yeah. And so like because normally all the other gamblers in the other states and stuff it was maybe 50 100 cars would show up
Right.
and that's after it's happened year after year.
Yeah.
So it was established. And since this was the first one, the guy didn't think there was going to be so many people. And then all of a sudden it just gets flooded with like 1,000 cars.
So the first
It
year,
is-
there's over 1,000
it's-
vehicles.
it was insane.
Just
chaos.
ridiculous.
And
Like,
all in like one small office park in Troy, Michigan. Like not a big place either.
yeah,
I mean,
just
Oh yeah, no.
it was hoopties. Like there were oil spills all over the place
Yeah.
because all these cars are pieces of shit.
Yeah.
And they're all like spray painted crazy, and they have custom lift kits on cars with mud tires
Yeah.
and brush guards. It was just nuts.
It's a bunch of rednecks.
the best one I
It really
saw
is.
was the Geo Tracker with all the metal taken off and like tiki torches and dudes
Yeah.
in snowmobiles. Remember that? Like
Snowmobile suits?
Snowmobile
Yeah.
suits. It was just like glass. And
Yeah.
yeah, that was it. It was amazing.
God.
They had
Yeah.
a bunch of like vans, like Roy Vogular would
Yeah.
have done well there because they had a bunch of vans with like dildos in the front and watching them like remember drop off and the dildos just like
Yeah,
flopping,
like-
flopping.
It was awesome.
But we start in, so we get a piece of paper and we go down and we start in Detroit and we do jumps and a bunch of random stuff and the jump too, like we hit it and the decon just jumped and
So
like,
we thought the windows
we thought
blew
we-
out. Like we hit hard.
yeah.
And all of a sudden, I thought like the overhead like bunkhouse broke off.
Yeah.
Because I knew it was like bad.
Barely
So I'm like,
on.
oh yeah, I was like, this thing broke.
Yeah.
And then there's the stuff falling down. And
I thought the windshield shattered.
Oh yeah. We just thought, and there's glass up there. We thought that broke. And I mean, it was just a bunch of decon that got stuck in the walls.
Well, for
or
like
something.
2 seconds we were totally blind as
Oh,
we
yeah.
came down on the jump and we're like, what's going on?
Oh, it's just
Like-
stuff everywhere, and we're just like, that was awesome.
In that case, rat poison in the air was the best case scenario.
It was.
Basically.
It really was.
Yeah. So after all that stuff, we met up down at like Eastern Mark or whatever for like a lunch break and
Yeah.
repairs for everybody to tinker on their cars. And then from there, it was like on the highway, straight shot up north. And we ended up in,
Houghton Lake.
Houghton
So
Lake.
you start from Detroit and work your way up to the UP.
No,
Oh,
Houghton
no,
Lake.
Houghton Lake.
So it's like
Houghton Lake is-
Roscommon
okay.
yeah,
area.
just a couple
Yeah,
hours.
I'm
Yeah.
familiar with that area. Okay, so you start from Detroit, work your way to Houghton Lake, and then what? Work your way back?
You actually
Well,
can't.
We camped.
Oh, you
So-
camped there, but I'm saying like
We
Yeah.
worked.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So
Okay.
that Saturday morning, we did the stuff in the city, and then we worked our way north.
Yeah.
And in between, there's trails.
Yeah.
We took this thing like mud bucking.
Basically, 10,000-pound RV with dualies on sand trails, and there's like side by sides whipping around and stuff.
Yeah.
They were pissed
And
that
it-
we were there.
obviously, a 28-foot RV is not meant to be on a two-track back in the woods. Like if you come head to head with another vehicle, there's no
Dunzo.
passing each other. It's like get out of my way because I'm bigger. And like there are all these cars getting stuck, and the guys that are there to like support vehicles and lifted jeeps to like pull people out.
Yeah.
They're coming up saying, "Oh, you aren't gonna make it. This thing's gonna get stuck. I can't pull you out." And
Yeah.
it's just like get the hell out of my way. And like so, all the people that did already get through
Yeah.
like to this main meeting area, they're all standing along the trails and stuff, and like they know like just make sure nobody comes back this way because
Yeah.
this big green machine is coming.
so they all knew.
Yeah.
Oh,
this
yeah.
was
Oh,
coming.
We
yeah.
are blocking traffic.
And by the way, we should say this: you're wearing a mullet wig at the time, and like like a Vietnam jacket, and
I
you're wearing
was
a helmet.
Like Charlie Day.
Lieutenant,
and
like, Lieutenant Dan.
I've got
man,
like this like terrible handlebar mustache. We just look like just total shit. It was
70s
awesome.
Vietnam vets.
Yeah, and at the same time, we're whipping through this trail. Finally, everyone got clear, and everyone on the side of the trail is just fucking, yeah, man. 10,000-pound green RV, just fucking
And it's
rooster tail.
louder than hell because there's no exhaust. It
it's
got
not
ripped
at
off.
all.
Oh, just
Exactly.
screaming.
It screamed.
Oh my god.
But we went barreling through and everything, and then there's like a bunch of obstacles, like hill climbs and stuff that obviously it sucked at.
Yeah.
So why do you think it made it through there?
Just-
like, is it because of the dual tires? in the
That
back?
and just weight.
Weight.
Like it
Weight.
actually
Just
was
we-
able to get traction and just
Yeah.
push
So
itself.
when it sunk down on the sand, it was able to keep
Yes.
going because you had the weight to just continue
Right.
pushing.
Yeah.
it. Oh, okay.
But
plus
Pete-
new tires helped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out
right.
to Dad to
Right.
like
Exactly.
thank for the suggestion,
he
Father.
knew that we needed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you never had to like turn a wrench or do anything.
Nothing.
It
You
never
were
broke down
solid.
on
No,
us.
not a thing broke. on
What
that
was
thing.
your gas mileage like?
Oh,
Oh,
Maybe 5, 6.
5
I think it was
miles a
probably 4
gallon?
miles a
Yeah,
gallon.
'cause
That
it-
thing
On
just
a
cranked
what 50-gallon tank, I imagine. It's probably a big.
Well,
tank.
I'm not even sure because it never had a gas cap. We just had duct tape over it, and so like anytime we'd actually fill it up, some would
It
spill
just keeps
out.
getting worse every time we want to mention something like no new tires because they weren't the same one and no gas cap. Well, fuck that. We got duct tape.
Yeah. So but we'd fill it up as much as we could because the gas gauge also didn't work. And so we just kept on every gas station we could find, we'd just top it off. I think we went through like $400 that weekend in gas.
Because I
Easily,
think if
easily.
I remember, we filled up in Birch Run, and time we got to Max's house, it was on, like, it must have been close to walk.
Yeah.
On walk. So that's like 100 miles to get to Birch Run to
It's
his
almost
house.
as bad as your Land Cruiser. Man.
Yeah, that was bad, but not as. I mean, that Jambo was worse.
Yeah.
And that we got 100 miles to a tank, and I think it was at least a 36-gallon tank.
Something like that. Yeah.
Something.
So
We
it
did
was-
do a little bit of
We
safety.
may or may not have gotten gallons to the mile.
Yeah, you're probably close.
At
yeah.
times.
Probably in the
Yeah.
sand trails at that
Because
point.
like
Yeah.
it only had a 3-speed transmission in it too, so like it was
Oh, you
not
actually had to shift it?
well it
No,
automatic.
It was
Oh,
an
okay.
automatic, but it was just old.
Yeah.
And so like today's cars, most of them have like a 6-speed or an 8-speed. So like you get
Yeah.
into really good gear for the highway. This thing wasn't made to go over 55.
No, not at all.
180.
We had it rolling 80 down the highway, just screaming
And the
like
mirrors were
4,000
not-
RPMs. Just
Black smoke rolling, just
Loud as
almost
hell.
catching on fire.
oh yeah, it was fairly terrifying. Like we did do a little bit of safety stuff because I had an onboard like built-in propane tank, and so we made sure that was empty at least before we went and like bombing through trails where we
What's
could
a
puncture it and blow.
propane tank for?
Just for like the stove and stuff
Stove,
like
right.
that.
It was, I mean, a camper.
Oh,
we-
you still kept that stuff?
Oh, dude, we lived comfortably on
Oh, I
camp.
thought-
I
Man,
thought
we
the
lived
way-
Well,
great.
the stove was gone.
The stove was gone.
Yeah.
We did end up
but
getting,
like it was still a camper like for sleeping in and stuff. And like after we did all the trails and stuff, there's this one great big open area for everybody to camp in, and there's like one obstacle that was still on the list, and it's like there's no way we're gonna
Yeah,
be able
we
to do
weren't
it with
doing
this,
it.
so let's just get over the campsite because we need to find firewood, we need to get set up. And we're thinking there's 1,000 people coming into this
Right.
one area. Firewood's going to be real scarce.
Yeah.
So we get there, and there's some other people already at the camp area, but we get set up, we put the awning out,
Yeah.
and then like all 4 of us just go out gathering wood, and we have this giant pile of
Huge.
wood. And so weather starts changing, whatever, starts raining, it gets cold. So we start a fire, we have it going underneath our canopy and stuff, and people are just showing up. They're bringing over like the little bit of wood they managed to find, like, hey,
Oh
can
my
we join your
God.
fire? And so it's like, yeah, cool. And we had a stereo system, we had
Yeah.
speakers set up, and so we were nice, high and dry, and everybody's like trying to put up a tarp to sleep underneath. And
Seriously.
like it, I felt bad for a lot of them, but like we had heat and everything inside, so
Yeah.
it's like, oh, sucks to be you.
There were a lot more RVs the next year.
Oh,
That's-
yeah.
oh yeah,
that's for
people
sure.
learned from
yeah,
us.
they saw
for sure.
You
what
were
was
the
going
goat.
on.
yeah,
the
it
fire.
really
it
very
was.
much.
did live to see the second year.
It did, yeah.
Yep.
More in like the
So
control
You
panel.
took this on another.
We
Yeah,
did,
the
but
second-
the second one we actually ended up. We knew that we were gonna go back north,
Yeah.
and so we like veered off and picked it up.
Yeah.
Because we actually had other vehicles to run around in Detroit that were actually more practical.
So you had two. Is that cheating?
No, I mean
No, it was a fleet.
it was
They
we
had
had a fleet. Everybody pretty much had a car then.
No, we took
Oh.
the Jambo down to Detroit too.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we camped in Walmart parking lot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
the Jambo was
right.
there.
Yeah, because the
did.
creeper
Yep.
that was outside playing
Like,
with himself in the
he had
Walmart parking
Yeah.
lot.
Whoa! Wait a minute! Wait a minute!
Yes.
Wait a minute!
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're at Walmart parking lot and this
In Royal
already
Oak.
And
Royal
what-
Oak.
a
Weird
creeper
guy.
fucking I
Like
don't know.
living in his car.
It's like 3 in
Oh
the
my
morning,
God.
and all of a sudden we just techno music just blaring, and then all of a sudden, like our buddy Trent goes, and this dude's just like beating off, and so
Out in the parking lot.
out in the parking lot, and so, I mean, Trent was not having it. Like he's the
It's
guy.
just like
Oh yeah,
He was
he's
pissed.
like Trent is like pissed. Like he wanted to like kill this dude.
oh my goodness.
He's got the flashlight out, lights them up in the parking lot. It's like, hey, you fucking pervert, like, get the hell out of here. And he's like, I have a deal with Walmart. I can stay here as much as I want. And it's like,
Not-
they don't know
not
that you're
to
fucking
jack
beating
off.
off.
Yeah.
And
What deal did Walmart sign?
He was bullshit.
Oh my
Yeah,
he was
God.
just a homeless dude living out of his car.
Yeah.
Just, that liked
Tripping
to beat
on-
off in public.
And I think he
listening
was
to
tripping
techno.
on balls. He was tripping hard.
He was
Well, he was
weird.
tripping
Yeah.
on his own balls. It
Yeah.
sounded like
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
That was the second year.
Yeah, I would want to forget too.
Yeah.
If
Well-
you seen it.
You had your one buddy that dressed. Did he do the Sasquatch costume?
Pierce.
Pierce.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's one of our employees. He's like 6'6", 6'8", like
Huge.
just a
He's
big
a
guy.
big dude.
And
Yeah.
he got the nickname Sasquatch just because he's so big.
Sounds fitting.
And so I order a full Sasquatch outfit off of Amazon for him to put on at night and like walk through the woods and fuck with everybody else. So that was good.
So that's some of the Sasquatch sightings in that time frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
Spiked
Yeah.
because
Well,
of your
for sure.
friend.
After the Gambler, though, when the Jambo was just on your property sitting there, so you got married in November a couple of years ago. So the bus company didn't show up
Yeah.
for a really long
For
time.
my party bus after the wedding, like, yeah, get on the party bus, let's
Yeah.
go. Well, where the fuck's the bus? It's not here. Nobody's answering the phones. So I start getting online and I'm just blasting them on their Facebook page. Like, hey,
Yep.
you guys are stiffing me. I've got my whole wedding
going
party
on?
here and you
Just
guys
got
are
married.
just blowing me off. And so Max and Trent, they're like, let's get the Jambo.
I said, well, we approached you and we said, PJ, there is another option.
Yeah.
I
And
still think Max and Trent were like they like paid the guys off.
yeah, to
So
not
we
show
could-
up.
right, so
well,
we
we
could use the
intercepted the
Jambo.
bus on the way back and they helped them in. So but I'm telling you that would have been a little bit more fun if we would have got the Jambo out.
Wait a minute.
Some
We
tells
had
me my
Trent on
sister
the
would
roof,
not-
like trying to jump it, and we were close. I mean, we were really close when you
Oh,
called
yeah.
us and said it was on its way back.
So you're done getting married?
He's
yeah,
married.
the ceremony's over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, and we're waiting
So
for
you're
the party
married.
bus. Yeah.
And you're about to go party.
Yep.
And the bus doesn't show up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why?
They claimed that it was scheduled wrong and they didn't answer their phone for like 2 hours and I was pissed.
So Max and your buddy Trent's idea
Is get the Jambo.
Get the Jambo.
is
And
let's go
Get the Jambo.
get the Jambo and get some tetanus
Yep.
and rat poison on our wedding day. I mean, good idea
Exactly.
because
It would have been.
Unfortunately, it didn't play out.
Yeah.
But
Oh, it didn't
I
happen.
really think that would have been epic.
So how
Would've
did the
been amazing.
limo came and found you?
Oh,
Finally.
they ended
They
up
showed
like
up?
They
well after
called.
I blasted them so bad online on their Facebook page and stuff. Like I got a call within 2 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm sorry. Like we had a mismatch or mess up or whatever, and the drivers didn't show up on time.
They were still lost because you called and said they were coming, and
Yeah.
so Trent and I were like coming back, and we saw a bus like in a middle school, like sitting there, and we're like, I bet that's them, and we
Okay.
like had to guide them back to the church because they didn't even know where they were going.
This is a really strange string of events here. You buy a Jamboree RV with no door handle because for the ladies. You have a limo that doesn't show up but is at a kindergarten.
yeah.
you have some strange guy in Walmart.
Beating
Something's
off.
what is
Yeah.
going on
I think
here?
it's
We
a
attract
Jambo.
the weirdos.
No,
That's the
I think
Jambo.
the Jambo
the
attracted it.
Jambo just
I did.
attracts.
It had like an aura.
It
around
did.
Yeah,
it
it
did.
does. I
No,
was
it
gonna
did.
s-
It just had an
Of
aura.
weird people. I mean, we met weird people at the campsite too.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that
Oh,
one guy? I
God.
mean,
Oh, yeah.
He like wanted to come and look through it. He's like, "Hey, when you're done with this, can I get the window out of it?"
Yeah.
Like,
He knew the guy who took the handle
Probably.
off. He's
Probably,
like, that was my
yeah.
bro.
You're
We
right.
used
He
to
knew
hang
the
out.
stories. Yeah, he
Like,
knew the stories
oh.
before we.
He's
had
like,
it.
if
want a
if
piece of
I,
this one.
if I was a fly on the wall,
yeah,
I'd
exactly.
love to be. In
well, we
here.
should talk about what you guys do and
Yeah,
why
speaking
you're
of,
able to get that
why
insane
the fuck
thing
you
and
chose
make it-
vehicles to drive in
Yeah,
sand?
How we got into this crazy.
How you got into this game?
Yeah. So
Well-
first of all, the company name is
BooDoo Design.
BooDoo Design.
And so it's like BooDoo Design wholesale only. It's kind of like two different companies, and it kind of started back in 1980. My father started it,
Okay.
and he started in van conversions, which that was the thing in the 80s.
What do you convert them to?
Just convert them into custom conversion vans, so they had
Like
like
beds
seats,
and
yeah,
kitchens
Yeah,
and
beds.
body kits, stuff like
You
Basically
know.
a jamboree.
Yeah.
Less
Just a little
creepy.
smaller.
Yeah, but
Less
smaller,
creepy.
smaller
Classier,
level. Yeah,
classier.
smaller level. TVs and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
And as you know, it kind of just faded away, and people just don't have vans.
Yeah.
And so then my dad got into like selling. He actually went and sold cars after that, and kind of learned the business. And then he's like, "Man, there's some money in
Some money in
just wholesaling. Like, oh, let's go to auctions, buy vehicles, and just make a living that way." And then the economy really. That's when like the economy took a crap. And my dad always was lifting vehicles, doing it to be different, because he always realized that being different made you
Sold cars.
Sold
Yeah.
cars. And so, like, man, when the economy, when you could buy year-old trucks for dirt
Nothing.
cheap.
Yeah.
What year was that?
Was it 08?
Yeah, 07, 08 when the
07.
economy
I was
really
I was gonna
fell.
ask
Yeah.
you guys
Yeah.
that.
That was
I was
one of the
literally
questions we
going
had.
to ask you that.
Yeah.
Is how did it affect the business and everything?
It actually helped.
Oh, it helped.
really?
Because
Yeah.
we could buy trucks so cheap. And then what we would do is we'd lift them up and outfit them up, and then we would ship them south.
And-
we were shipping them
And
down-
selling them to dealers down
down
south.
to Texas, because Texas didn't get affected by the economy whatsoever. It actually in a way kind of helped them out in a weird way. So they were just still spending. So that's how we were doing it. And so that's when I was still kind of in college. And my dad kind of just like, you're going to make more money doing this.
Yeah, right.
I mean, at the time, I had my doubts because I don't know, we weren't making as much then as now. But it helped. I mean, like then I got, that's what I knew PJ from school. And he just got back from Oklahoma. I'm like, hey, want to help do this? And so we did, at the time, we didn't even do the lift kits. We just did leather interior.
Some fender flares and like the bolt-on accessories and Nerf boards.
Like leather interior, you'd take the seats out, recover them and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit. That's how you started?
Yeah,
That's where we really got started. And Justin's dad had a guy that he was a mechanic, and he was having him put the lift kits on, and then we were doing all the aesthetic stuff, the bolt-on stuff, interiors. And so after it was all said and done, wheels and tires, fancy, take them and run them at an auction down south. The dealer down there would buy them, and doing that, hey, this is the dealer that bought it. Cut out the auction fees and stuff. Why don't you buy these things direct from us?
Oh.
It'd save you some money there, and we'll figure out shipping, whatever. And for a while, I mean, I was driving trucks down to Texas, and down in Texas, you could buy dually big work trucks and stuff like that at the auctions there, cheaper than here. And there's a market for them here, so it's like I would drive a truck down to Texas that we lifted and sold to a dealer there, and then I'd pick up one of these big trucks that we bought at the auction there and drive it back. And so we were doing everything we could to just make it work. I think the one year I drove like 80,000 miles. Jeez. I was going to Nebraska. I was going to Colorado.
That was just in the wrecker, though.
Yeah, that was just on a wrecker. I was hauling 2 cars at a time.
Like a flatbed wrecker?
Yeah.
Yep.
The
I mean,
thing
we did more
We
than
should
that,
say
I can tell you
that you drive semis.
Yeah, I drive a semi for interstate, and it's, I fucking,
Oh,
I know what it's like, man. It's
Dude,
fucking
we
sucks.
would go, me and him. I mean, it was definitely not illegal. I mean, we didn't know really the rules. We're not even 21, and we've learned to find out, or he did.
Oh, the
Yeah.
DOT?
that you got to be 21 to go out of state.
Yeah.
And
We're
DOT.
18.
Yeah.
And we're just switching off. Every gas tank. We're sleeping inside this regular cab thing, just going. And because a lot of times our motive to get back fast was like, no, we got to be home to go party on the weekends.
Yeah, right.
So we would just go.
Do what need to be done.
He would get done and then get back to a lot of times go party.
Just the party.
Yeah, I mean that's all we cared about.
Yeah,
That makes me feel good, though, because at least he had motivation.
Oh yeah, the one trip I made, I went to Dallas, Texas, and back in 42 hours.
That's a
Because
22,000 miles, is it?
It's like
Close to 2,500?
Yeah.
Is it? What is it? Our fact checker over here.
It's about 13 hours to Little Rock and 5 hours from there.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds
Yeah.
about right.
So,
yeah.
okay.
And-
Thank you, Ashley, for being our you're our Jamie
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah,
I'm
it
gonna
was
call you young Jamie.
so it was like
Joe
hardcore
Rogan.
driving because I had to be back for the Michigan State game down in
Right.
Ann Arbor.
You
Like
had to.
I had to be back Saturday morning, and I left Thursday morning for Dallas. So it was
Jesus
just like
Christ.
hard driving, like there and back, and made it back, partied hard, had a good time. So it was worth it.
You ever have, like, being that we share a driving experience, you ever have that thing where you're so fucking tired and your eyes feel like, here's your pupils, right? And they go like this.
Oh yeah,
And then all of a sudden you can't see the road, and then you think about falling asleep, and you wake up and go, whoa, I fell asleep. You ever have that?
oh yeah,
It's
multiple
scary as
times.
fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We probably shouldn't be saying this either, because like I'm sure that's super illegal to
Yeah,
drive.
no,
like,
we'll-
to
we'll-
that
No,
extent.
well, the thing
We'll
is
blur that
we
out.
can talk about it, and they can't prove it.
Oh,
It's fine.
yeah.
I have a Class A license. I can talk all I want about it.
Okay.
Everything I want, they can't prove I did it.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's times where you hallucinate, just like you see
Yeah.
swear you see things
Yeah.
driving. I mean, especially like in boring places, Nebraska.
Oh, yeah.
Because then after that we got I deal with Enterprise out in Colorado, and so then it kind of shifted from delivering stuff to Dallas to Colorado to Denver, and that's where we actually opened up a shop, and then that's where I pretty much got out of school because it was like I would go work a week and then come back. And then you would go there to work a week. And
Then
we
we
had
hired
a-
a guy full time
then
out there,
Right.
and then
We had
we'd
a
still
house.
take turns going out there to help.
Out in Colorado?
Yeah.
Yep, out in Denver.
So the shop used to be in Colorado.
We had two, actually. That's why we would switch off. Like he would still work the stuff in Frankenmuth, and then I would be in Denver, doing the same thing out there. And switched off, and
Then we got our full-time guy out there that just kind of kept it going for us for a while out there. And
Do you still have that shop out in Colorado? or
No.
we lost a lot of that. It's kind of like it's crazy. Like the people that we knew out there, we used to know a ton, and then like just like everybody left. It
And
was
now
weird.
everybody came back because of weed.
Well,
Which
is crazy.
Yeah.
Property prices are out through the roof.
Oh,
Well, they
insane.
were already starting when we were out there. It was
Oh,
like,
really?
starting to like
Climb up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know. Denver's such a weird place because literally you could go through like the weirdest area, like just trash, and then it's like nice houses. Go back to trash.
Like
It's-
literally across the street, you'll
Yeah.
have like a 5,000 square
Like
foot
no zoning.
beautiful
Yeah,
mansion,
it's the
and then a trailer
weirdest
park.
thing. Yeah.
Like it was just, it's so sectional out there, and it's like Aurora, Colorado. It's just like east of
Suburb.
Denver.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I can't, dude. That's insane to imagine.
but it's changed
like
so much.
M&M's
It has
across the
changed.
street. And
Yeah.
he's
Oh yeah,
like,
like
rapping.
literally, yeah.
Old M&Ms across
Yeah.
the street
I
from
mean,
new
the
M&Ms.
biggest
Yeah.
thing it's like that I
Stop
can
looking at me, punk.
kind of like put. It's like Saginaw Township in the city of Saginaw
Oh,
line.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I mean,
that
because
makes
that's like the
sense.
best way I could do it. Because like once you hit that Saginaw Township line, things are already nicer.
Yeah.
But it was even to more dramatic effect. Like literally, like
Yeah.
he said, there's like $1 million homes, and then there's a trailer park across the street.
Wow.
And it's just like, I mean, it's changed now. I'm sure a lot of those trailers are gone now. Just like you said, his prices
Property
have gone,
values
has
and-
gone up.
Yeah.
Just like in Nashville, it's crazy too.
So what are you guys mostly doing now?
It's still outfitting trucks.
Yeah.
Still doing the same thing, just on a
way bigger
scale.
volume.
Yeah.
Way bigger scale.
What's your shop look like in Frankenmuth?
It's full of
Is it-
tires.
It
Full of
like
tires?
we are really
Building.
swamped on room right now, but we have a new location that we're building right now.
Yeah.
That's gonna give us like 3 times as much space that we have, and
I was gonna say the last time you were here, you guys were talking about that. So you're building a whole. You're from the ground up. Like you're
we-
just
it wasn't existing buildings,
would've
but we're
been easier.
redoing
okay.
everything on them. Like literally, we gutted everything completely out and started from scratch. All new insulation, all new steel, all new lighting, all new electrical, all new heating. We poured all new concrete with heated floors and everything. Like
Oh, the
it's gonna be
tubes that run through and
Yeah.
shit. All the water. Yeah.
it's
that's
gonna be
cool.
top notch once we finally get it done and get moved in there. And
Yeah.
it's also we have a bunch more property for room to expand.
Yeah.
Because we ended up with almost 9 acres of property, and
And you're
right
allowed
now
to build on it.
yeah, it's all
Okay.
commercial land, and we're maybe using up a third of it right now with the structures that are currently there. So,
How many square feet is it?
well,
I love square footage. I don't know. It's like some.
I think
There's
in square
multiple
footage,
buildings.
yeah, the
so-
one building's 160 by 48, and
That's
then
fucking huge.
yep,
Wow.
and then there's 2 more buildings that will be connected. They're perfectly in line with each other, and those are 48 by 60.
Yeah.
So
Fucking. That's insane.
Yeah.
So you have 3 buildings that are.
yeah, and then there's 3 other buildings on the property that we're just using for tire storage right now.
Just
Yeah.
tired storage.
Well, it's funny when we did the trailer, a few months ago now. I just said,
Oh, yeah.
bring something, because I knew anything that would come this way would be amazing. But I was kind of like, I was gonna tell Cody like what it would be, but I was like, let's just, I can't even describe it. So let's just
That
see
fucking
what
truck
shows up.
was taller than me.
Oh yeah.
Like I couldn't like if okay, you open up the hood and say change my fucking battery. I'd have to get a step ladder and then a ladder to that step ladder to get to your battery. Oh my god.
It was legit monster
That's
truck.
probably one of the wildest, if not the wildest, builds that we've done.
Is that on purpose?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I always.
Like
I,
you wanted something ridiculous.
I wanted
just to-
something. I always wanted to have
Yeah.
like a show truck.
Yeah.
My dad would always do it, but then I wanted to outdo him. I wanted
You
to.
win.
And then I was like, I mean, I do it now. I'm like, hell, it's gonna be good for the business, and I sometimes regret it because I put a lot of money into it, but it's a tax write off.
Yeah.
But and it is fun. I mean, we go to tailgates with
Oh, yeah,
it.
the Death
and
Star.
You've been to the tailgates.
It's got boat motors on it because it's,
Speakers.
Speakers.
So
excuse
I
me,
mean,
yeah.
you haven't seen that, which we'll have to do in the summertime.
Well,
Yeah,
I was gonna
we'll
say
be back.
when you brought it here in the driveway, we talked about some of the speakers and shit going on because
Yeah.
the rails came down, the lights were on. You
Oh,
had
yeah.
fucking how big were those rims?
30 by 16.
30 by 16s. Not
is-
including the rubber. That's
No.
just a 30
That's
inch
just a- just
That
metal.
is the biggest and
Plus-
widest.
What 4 inches of rubber or 5 inches?
Well, the tires were 44s by 16
So,
fives.
okay.
So 7 inches on each side of that rim was rubber.
So you have almost a 50-inch tire from top of
Yeah,
rubber to
yeah.
bottom of rubber.
Yeah, it's massive.
Yeah.
And then there was, I remember your tailgate lit up,
Yeah.
and then I remember, I don't know, I was just looking at it, and I just remember, what's this box under here? And like, oh, that's a speaker.
yeah.
So
big
you have a speaker
subwoofer.
by
sub.
where you would connect your camper
Pretty much.
to go take it
Yeah.
somewhere.
It's
So you-
awesome at tailgates. I'll just say
Yeah,
that.
I mean, it's
Two big ass subwoofers
Oh, yeah.
under your fucking.
yeah.
Yeah.
What?
No, James Cook, shout out James Cook, was
Yeah.
really impressed with that. I mean, he was like, "This is gold for a video."
Oh, I'm gonna have to bring it over again in the spring.
Oh, definitely.
You're gonna
Yeah.
have to hear. I mean, it's crazy.
It's
I mean,
amazing.
It's loud.
We appreciate what we just did with the flamethrower too.
Oh yeah, let's
We
talk about the
really- a really
flamethrower.
good
Is that in
time
the
to see.
truck?
Yeah, that's out in the
Okay,
truck.
we'll have. Oh man, we should.
We'll definitely take a couple pictures of it. Yeah.
So the sign. Ouch, the
it's up
sign up there. I don't know if that the camera's not really catching
Yeah,
it.
we'll definitely get
show
it.
it on the thing, but So I believe you said your dad didn't. Your dad had everything. You didn't know what to buy him for a
dad's
gift.
The hardest. I mean, like my dad just buys
Whatever
pretty
he
much
wants.
whatever he wants.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get him. I'm just like, what doesn't he have?
What do you get for a man who does everything?
Exactly. I'm like,
Flamethrower.
Flamethrower. I'm like, huh. He can clear his driveway off, which we find out is not that good at doing it.
But it's more
But
fun than anything.
it's just fun. And then, and then he's like, he bought a bunch of property up north that he's got a big old pile. He's like, that'll be perfect. You know,
bonfires.
Setting bonfires. Yeah, it'll be great. It's a lot safer way than just
Probably
throwing
what you're
gas.
doing right now.
Right.
Same concept, just
but
better
just safer.
vehicle. Yeah.
Right.
Just control how much.
It's
of it-
controlled. It's controlled.
How much?
Doing exactly
however
the
you
same
want,
thing.
However you want to say controlled, like it's,
Exactly.
it's better than
How
this.
much trigger you
Yeah.
actually want to get?
Yeah. But I mean, I just think it's funny because I feel like there's an underlining meaning why you bought that for your dad. You bought it for him.
Yeah.
I knew that I would have some fun
Yeah,
with it.
see, you admitted
We
it.
all, I mean,
And you knew all your friends would have
Yeah.
fun.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then we do a video about it.
Yeah.
And then,
and
I think it's
end up using it here. See?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
It
great.
worked out. Yeah.
worked
And
out.
now it's gonna sit in your truck and be like, oh shucks, Dad, I forgot to take it out again.
Oh no, that
Back
was
here.
because I had to ask. I'm like, hey, if they want to like do some like videos where it's like, you better bring that thing full of fuel and not hurt at all.
wants
'Cause, like, at first my dad's like, what the fuck did you buy me this for? I was like,
Yeah.
I'm never gonna use this
Now
thing.
he's
And
out there every
now
morning.
it's like. Loves it. Like, hey,
Out there
you
in his
touch
robe
it,
and his
you break
sandals.
it, you're buying me 2 of them.
He was skeptical at first, but once we loaded it up for him, and Jesus, yeah, once we loaded it up for him and like took him outside, and it's like, all right, just let it rip.
Yeah.
And he's
Push
like,
one
oh my
button.
God, this is awesome.
It's like, how could you
Little
not like it?
backstory: his dad is also my father-in-law now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I married his younger sister.
I was
You
explaining
married
a little
his
bit of
sister.
that.
yeah.
Yeah, I learned about this. I thought that was kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
'Cause,
So
like,
that's why I'm always like around.
You not
when-
only work together, you share Christmas and Thanksgiving together,
Exactly.
and birthdays,
Family.
and all this family stuff.
Yep.
You ever get pissed at each other? And
Oh,
wanna just-
all the time.
Okay.
Me
Good
and
to
him-
know what's in
Oh,
the family. I'm-
Back when it was just me and him. I mean, it was partially just my dad pushing us really hard.
Yeah, just
He's
Yes.
always been
Yeah.
like,
Oh, my dad would push us all. Or-
and it's still that way, and I think that's part of the reason why
Yeah.
we've grown so much. Is nothing is ever enough. Like if we do 15 trucks in a week, why don't you do 20?
Yeah,
Like
always.
it's always pushing for more, and I think that's part of why we've become what we are.
Do you have that same drive though?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Do you want that?
Oh,
Do you want
definitely.
to make the company that big and successful?
Definitely. Like we put in so much time, like it's out of control. Cause we have a good crew of guys
Yeah.
now, and like everybody has their own specific spot, and they all excel really well at what they do.
Yeah.
And we've trained them now to the point where I can walk away and say, this is what needs to be done today. These 4 trucks I need built today. This is what each one gets: wheels, tires, fender flares, whatever. And then I can go out and work on the new shop. And so the regular business is still pumping, and then
Well, you're
Trying
being
to
a
bring it up.
supervisor essentially of the crew.
he
that's
he
working.
is the
Yeah.
shop manager. Is what
So then,
everybody calls
okay,
him.
so now there's a divided play in what you guys are doing. So
Oh, for
you're
sure.
more of a shop manager.
He's a
and-
shop manager, and I am now the buyer. So I was essentially doing what my dad did.
So you're
I
more of
would
a
out-
salesman.
I was
type
the
of thing.
sales. I'm
Okay.
more into sales now, out there buying the vehicles and placing
Selling
90
them, basically.
Yeah.
90% of them. My dad's still in it.
So you
He's
both-
kind of semi-retired,
Yeah.
but like,
Summertime comes, he's
Oh,
up
yeah.
north
He's
playing
gone.
on the boat
He's
and whatever.
gone.
And
So
he
you
just
both
lets
you
us
both
do
have a
it.
lot riding on your shoulders.
oh
because-
yeah, and
yeah.
that's what drives me is that I have 9 employees that rely on what I do to make a living,
their paycheck.
and
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
see all of them succeed.
Yeah.
And
If he doesn't get trucks
Right.
bought at the auctions for us to build, guess
Yeah.
what? Everybody is out of
It's,
work.
Trickle
So
down effect.
it is a trickle
Yeah.
down effect, and that's why that puts a lot of pressure on me. But I deal with pressure pretty well,
Yeah.
better than my dad.
You do pretty well too. You guys do awesome. I mean, I remember
Yeah.
your Hellcat a couple years ago.
Oh,
you
yeah.
just sold
You had
it
a
to-
Dodge, the Dodge.
yeah.
Oh,
The-
yeah, when they just came out, I went out and bought one.
They're pretty
It was
good at
fun.
buying stuff.
You were the
Where is
first
it now?
one.
I sold. I
TI.
sold it to Ti.
What?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah.
The Band-Aid guy?
No.
That was Nelly,
That was
wasn't it?
Nelly.
Yeah.
That's Nelly. Sorry.
Ti.
Fuck.
is-
Sorry, Ti.
You can have whatever you love.
Okay, Ti was also in Fast and Furious, so I mean,
No, that's ludicrous.
That's ludicrous.
fuck. I thought
From the
he
sound up.
died.
That's,
Ti.
that's Tupac.
Tupac. Shit. I'm just.
Yeah.
We have a
You
lot of
like how that
guitars.
line
but-
went down though? There's someone one rapper. No. Oh my god, that's hilarious. I did. I
What were you
fucked
saying,
up.
Dash?
No, I was just gonna say my favorite car of all time is your green Jeep, and I'm super, super sad that you sold it.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean green
Yeah.
Jeep?
I had a.
With the leather. Oh,
Yeah,
my
it
God.
was-
With the leather.
Oh.
It had
Dude.
like Rowlings
Max sat
baseball.
naked in it.
No,
It was
dude,
like,
no.
oh,
It was
leather.
Rowlings leather.
Rowlings leather,
like
From
baseball,
baseball
gloves.
gloves.
And it was like black. It was awesome. It was
Yeah.
pretty sweet. I honestly still wish I kind of had it too. I actually sold it a lot for the reasons I had so much positive equity in it.
Yeah.
And I pretty much paid for my wedding and wedding ring. It paid off a lot of things.
What'd you
when I
end up
got it.
doing with the Land Cruiser?
I sold it to a hippie out west, like on the west side of the state. Like I literally, he came.
What do you
and-
mean Land Cruiser? What's
Oh.
that?
It was a 96,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
Toyota
96.
Land Cruiser, and it had the magic switch, they're called, because it's the center and front and rear diff lockers.
Yeah.
And not all of them came with it. So if it had that magic switch, it was like
It's rare.
the best thing ever. And he found it, and he was actually sicker than shit. It was in Lansing, and he's like, hey, will you go look at this thing and just buy it for me, like, if it's good? And so me and Trent, our other buddy, we jumped in the truck.
The guy who
Yeah.
we should tag
chopped
Trent.
up the fucking.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we
Jamboree.
drove down to Lansing and checked it out and test drove, and it's like, yeah, this thing's actually really nice. And I ended up buying it pretty cheap.
Yeah.
And once we got it back, he went through and just
Redid
repainted
everything.
the whole thing, put cool bumpers on it and lifted it and changed the leather and put a cool sound system in it. And it was kind of like an overland off-road truck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those drawers in
It
the
was
back
like
too.
the Overland before Overland got big. Like
Yeah.
Overland is like
What's that?
Really, so Overland is like people camping in their vehicles.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's like
Everybody's
they're
doing
taking
it
a
now,
Sprinter
yeah.
van and like putting a
Yes,
kitchen in it and
yes,
shit. Yeah,
and-
yeah.
But
The rooftop
But that's
tents.
a
Top
four-wheel drive van.
I mean, this is like
I know what you're
before.
talking
I mean, it
about.
was like the last 2 years it's really blown up. And I get that in like 15.
It's all over
Not
social
14?
media.
Yeah, 14.
So I mean, I always liked that stuff before. I don't
Yeah.
know. I just always liked it. I was like, cause they do it in Australia and stuff. And that's why I like the Land Cruiser because they're just reliable.
Yeah.
And I build it up, and then we've had some great trips to
Oh
the
my
UP
God.
with it.
We took that
Max
thing
almost
up.
died.
I almost died,
He almost froze to death.
man. Well,
He's an
we.
idiot.
What?
Well, so okay, so a couple
But
years
I'm learning
ago.
so much about him.
This
right
was
now.
like 3 or
This
4
was
years
like
ago
3,
now.
4 years ago. So I had been camping a lot that summer, and I had been using this like really thick wool blanket, and it was like perfect. And it was like, okay, well this will be good. I'll just take this
Oh,
up to the
boy.
UP too. No problem. Had it.
And this is in
Great
like
experience.
October, too.
October.
Yeah, it was pretty deep. So, like, I had a bunch of like thick clothes, wool camper. I'm trying to be like minimal and stuff like that. So we go up there.
A
we're
box
doing.
full of MREs
Yeah,
because you
yeah,
wouldn't
I-
even eat normal food.
I was trying to be like serious, like survival shit.
Yeah,
so like,
you ain't shitting either after you eat those.
no, dude, those things are dense. So we're going up. We're in the Land
Dense.
Rover. So you had your truck. With
Yeah,
the,
I had my old blue truck.
which is the giant. Like, what kind of lift was that?
That had a total of 11 inches on it.
What kind
and
of truck was that?
It was a 99 GMC regular cab long box.
Yeah.
I ran that truck through hell and back.
It's-
Like the things that truck went through, it should not have.
We
Like,
watched you go through. Just
And
watching
you had that thing with
like,
what? Like didn't have a ton of miles on it.
When I
You
got it, it had like 90,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
And I got rid of it at like 240. But I put
Holy shit.
hard
all hard miles.
miles.
Like when it was still stock, I got that thing stuck one time, and there's probably 1.5 foot of water inside of it for like 9 hours. And I broke all the tow hooks off of it trying to pull it out. And I ended up having to do it by hand with like a come along off of a tree. And after that, like everything just started falling apart. The transmission blew like a month later. The rear end locked up and blew on me when I was down in Ann
Had to
Arbor.
go
So
pick him up in the wrecker.
Yeah.
And so after that, then it got lifted and everything. And then I started blowing transfer cases and front diffs. So I'd rebuild and everything. And of course, after I rebuild it bigger and stronger, it's like you got to push it harder.
Yeah.
And I ended up breaking the frame on it like 3 or 4 times and having to weld it back together.
The frame of the vehicle.
Yeah, I ran that thing really hard.
You broke it the day of, weren't you? At like some body shop. We were at Cabela's looking at guns, and you were working in.
Yeah, the day
Saginaw
that
doing
we were
something.
actually leaving for the UP, because I hadn't driven it in a while, because I had 2 cars.
Yeah.
And that was like my secondary vehicle at this point. And it sat for like 3 months, and I got in it, and it's like, what the hell's that noise? And the U-joints in the rear axle were smoked. And it's like, I can't drive all the way to the UP with bad U-joints. And so I stopped at this like auto parts store, bought some U-joints, and this is at like 6:30 on a Friday night, trying to find a shop that's open in Saginaw where I can use some tools. And the one place that I found, it was in the ghetto. But the guys were super cool. I was like, hey, I just need a couple of tools. I got the parts. Like, what will you charge me to let me do this? They're like, dude, just have at it. And
Oh
so
shit!
they
They let
me
you in your shop, use their lift and everything.
Well, I pulled
Was
the
it
drive.
Buena Vista? I feel like it would be.
It might have been. Yeah. Yeah, it was right off of 46.
Yo,
so
yeah, Buena
Oh,
Vista
yeah.
then, dude.
Yeah.
He's from St. Charles, so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
And they're
yeah.
super cool though. They let me use all their tools, and like they didn't want to take money, but I still like gave the guy $20, just like,
Nice.
hey, thanks, man.
That's awesome.
And
Keep
we were
the
on the
lights
road, and
Yeah, we used it. 'Cause
Yeah.
that was great.
but back to how you almost died.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So we found, we were driving, we were having a great time in the UP.
In this truck.
In this
His
truck,
truck
and
and,
the Land
and my
Cruiser.
Land
We had
Cruiser.
two
trucks.
So there's 2 trucks. So
Yeah.
Max is with me, and then we had another buddy, Mopey, with him.
So
Yeah.
so we're going, and we're just. I think we hit our first trail at what 3 a.m.
Yeah,
And you
we
just
finally-
lit it
On Friday
up.
night.
On
In
In
Friday night.
Munising or something like
Yeah.
that.
Lit it up.
We because
and-
we were waiting on him, and then I don't know, other things happened.
Yeah.
I think we were waiting to see if Trent could go because he was
Yeah,
like,
'cause-
sick.
Yep.
Yep, he was
And we were
sick.
like waiting to see if like he was good to go, and he ended up
Not
not
coming.
being able to go. But yeah, we get up like the first night was like 3 a.m. We set up tent.
Yep.
It was freezing.
freezing cold.
I mean,
yeah.
freezing.
And I was, to my credit here, I was fine the first night.
First night was fine.
And then the second night, hit the trails, had a lot of fun all day. And
How
then
many nights total?
2 nights.
2 nights.
Yeah, we did 2 nights.
And we found the campsite. It was awesome. I remember that. I remember that
awesome.
campsite being gorgeous.
It
and
was.
amazing.
It was.
Because we were
And-
shooting guns and stuff.
Yeah.
Because we were just out in the middle of nowhere.
We were middle
just
of
dead.
God's
Nowhere.
country.
You guys have a lot of stories.
I think it
about-
was like Perch Lake or something in the UP or something,
Yeah.
something close to that. But it was beautiful. I mean, couldn't have better conditions. Anyway, none of us checked the weather that night, and
Well, we didn't have cell service.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
either.
So we found out where we were was basically a bowl, and we were in the middle of it, and I ended up getting pretty wet.
Oh,
and
it poured
was
like
awful.
you wouldn't believe.
Well, wait a minute. Why the fuck? Why didn't you go to his Land Cruiser?
We still don't
Well,
know.
I eventually did.
No, we yeah. Well, okay, so then
Well,
all
you
of a
were
sudden-
fine.
Well, so we slept because I don't even know how we got caught in the rain. If
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken. So his blanket got wet.
Yeah.
And so he's
So my clothes are wet. My
You
blanket's
wet
wet.
blanket.
So I'm
And then
waking
the-
up.
and
I'm
then the
waking up because
tent's wet.
I'm cold. I'm dry. I'm cold.
Yeah, but you're in a car.
well,
No,
no,
we were in the
tent.
tent.
We were
We were in
still
the
in
tent.
tent.
We set up just the tent. Yeah.
You have a Land Cruiser and you
Yeah,
set up a fucking tent.
We didn't.
Well,
like,
it was a little. Yeah.
Oh my god, you
we
guys.
were also drinking heavily.
Yeah.
there
Oh.
was some things involved.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah.
so
Never
I just,
mind, I understand.
I wake up to him. I mean, he's purple, dude.
Blue. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, are you all right? And then he's got this fucking
Emergency
space blanket.
It looks like
That's
a
how
piece
I
of tin
woke up. That's
foil.
how I woke up because it's
And I'm trying not to wake up these guys. So they
and
don't,
these things are loud as loud. I'm just
And
like,
I'm folded,
what
I'm
in the world?
That's when you have hypothermia.
Dude, he was. I mean, bad.
bad.
Like, I was nervous. Like, dude, he's
Yeah.
purple.
My sense
I'm like,
of humor
dude,
is so
go
fucked.
jump in the truck.
Yeah.
And go get yourself warm.
I'm gonna
good
fight
idea.
it out.
Good idea. But then
I'm no pussy.
But then all of a sudden he gets in there
I got your keys
The exhaust
It's going right into the
right
tent.
into our tent. So we're like fumed out.
Now you're high. He's dying of hypothermia,
Yeah.
and no one's who.
somehow. And we're in the middle of nowhere, and no one has cell
Who
service.
the
So.
fuck?
But I will say, well,
Dude,
so
he comes with just a blanket. Mate, I have blankets on blankets
Yeah.
on blankets because I know it's gonna be cold. It's
Well,
Yeah.
who has a Land Cruiser and stays the night in a fucking tent?
In hindsight, you know,
In
you're probably
hindsight-
right.
probably could have.
yeah.
Oh my
I mean, he didn't really have
God.
room. He had his truck, so
Yeah.
we bring my
Oh.
tent.
Yeah, regular
wasn't a
cab
ton of
truck.
space.
So you sat
Yeah.
in your bench seat
Well, I mean,
truck.
this is in the morning. No, we slept.
We
Like,
slept.
I don't
Yeah.
think he did
I didn't sleep much that
because
night.
he was like freezing. Like,
Oh, my
but
God.
all of us had like sleeping bags,
Yeah.
blankets. Him,
And I had a lot of clothes on, and I was ready.
but it
I
was
just-
wet.
wet.
Everything got wet.
It got wet, and then I was fucked. So
It was.
And
But-
then
but
Mr.
last year we
prepared
did-
over here. He's got that little fold-up tinfoil
Yeah, I
blanket
got
that
that.
they say keeps you
Crinkle,
warm.
crinkle, crinkle.
Yeah.
Actually, those things it was okay. I'm not gonna lie.
How does that
Dude,
work?
it
You
just
were
keeps-
blue.
Well,
You
I
were
could have.
blue.
I could have been black. You
Is
know,
it-
like
Yeah.
Is the tinfoil blanket like
It-
the body from the heat kind of
Yes, it
bounces
reflects.
back and
Yeah.
forth?
It reflects your
Okay.
own body heat. But when you don't have a very high
Yeah, I
body
had very
temperature,
little
it doesn't
body
really
heat.
help.
You're
Laying
not gonna
in-
get anywhere.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
that was really dumb of you, Max.
yeah. Well, I've got better. We had a good
Oh, yeah,
one
you
last
got
year,
older,
too. We did
so-
hammocks this year.
Yeah,
which
this
was-
past summer we actually took 4-wheelers this time,
Yeah.
and Trent had a side by side,
Yep.
and then the 3 of us were on 4-wheelers.
You had a-
which that was off to a bad start from the get go too.
Oh God.
So
Good
I
story.
hauled the trailer with all the stuff on it, right?
Like, it's
I
a
was,
little trailer though, right?
no,
Oh,
this
no.
is a
Oh,
big
no.
trailer.
Because we're putting everything on. We're putting the
with
side
a
by
quad
side.
runner.
Well,
Oh no, you're
this
talking
is before
going
we
up
even go
with
up.
the-
Yeah.
okay, yeah,
So
with
I've
the
got
vehicle.
this. I got 3 4-wheelers loaded on the trailer, and I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
Trent's house to pick him up with the side by side. Trent lives on the roughest
Oh my
road
God.
in
It
Saginaw
is-
County.
It is.
I was
terrible.
going like 25 miles an hour.
And this is your buddy who's not here right now.
Yeah.
He might need to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got good stories.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's got
Jesus.
stories.
I
So-
don't know if he'll come on.
He
though.
would
He's
not.
pretty private. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
pretty private.
Sounds like it.
I mean, his stories are great, but
Yeah.
he
He's got a good
Beyond
angle
that-
on all these things.
yeah.
So I'm going like 25 down this road, and the strap breaks on the one brand new 4-wheeler that's not even mine. I'm borrowing it from my buddy Mopey,
Yeah.
who went with us before. I was just borrowing it. It's his brand new machine. Straps break, goes flying off the back of the trailer, just endos.
Shit.
And so I call up Trent and it's like, dude, I need your help. I'm just down the road. And so he comes down there and it's like, oh yeah, she's fucked. And so we loaded it back up on the trailer, drove back up into Frankenmuth. I dropped it off at the quad off at the dealership right next to our shop. And they're like, oh yeah, we'll take care of it. I called Mopar and I'm like, dude, I totaled your quad. And he's like, no fucking way. And it's like, yeah, it's fucking wrecked. And I sent him a picture. And they did end up totaling it.
Yeah.
So at this point, we're scrambling because
And it wasn't
now,
like a bad one either.
no,
it
it's
was
a
really
a
nice
2019 or 2018 Polaris 850 XP, like fucking
top
badass
Yeah.
machine.
How much does something like that cost?
Like 10, 12 grand, something
for a
like
quad runner?
that. Yeah.
yeah.
one. Yeah.
And you just let it go off a trailer?
It just
Well, it,
tumbled on us. So that was the bad start to the whole trip because now we're down a quad and I'm trying to figure out who's got a quad that I can borrow that's gonna trust me now because I just totaled this one. Because I have my own, but Max was gonna ride mine. I was gonna ride Mopar's, and so I end up calling my dad because he's got one. And so like on the way up north, we stopped at my dad's place. I grabbed his quad. We get there, whatever. But we're out on quads riding all over the UP, and it was awesome. We
Yeah.
took hammocks this time instead of tents, and so we like
Here
find
we were in August.
yeah.
it was also a lot
warmer now.
nicer weather.
Yeah,
But
I
we
think
found-
I think the month has a lot more to do with
Yeah.
the
For
comfortable.
sure.
It still was. It
Let's
got
go
cold.
now.
It got cold at night.
It
yeah,
got cold at
It definitely
night.
got cold at night.
Where were you out?
We
Where did you end up sleeping.
we
in these
started
hammocks?
at Sterling.
Where was like that first night where it
Yeah.
was like the weirdest?
That
like,
is-
dude. There was no noise.
Never experienced that.
It was
before.
creepy
There's
quiet.
zero noise.
Not a bug.
Not a bug.
Not a bird, not an animal, no wind, nothing. And we
Dude.
were deep in the woods too, because we're on quads, so we can go deep. So there's no cover, like we couldn't even see the sky.
Yeah.
Like I've never experienced that blackness.
And there's like an opening. Like,
darkness.
oh, this will be a good.
Yeah,
like,
it was
this
cool. It
this was
looked
a good
good.
place
There's
to,
a little
like,
creek that ran right next to it
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah,
Like, it was
probably
a-
filled with radiation. That's why all the animals
like
died.
Chernobyl
and there's
of the
no-
It
Yeah.
very
You're
well
on
could have
3
been.
Mile
because,
Island.
Dude, I've never had it in my life where there is no noise.
Yep.
And then I could kind of see how people
Lose their
like
mind.
Like not
lose their
a
mind.
cricket, not like
Not a cricket.
not a thing. Yeah.
So pretty much we just got hammered, and I fell asleep, and then like a lot of people like you were snoring, and then that's how I fell
Thankfully,
asleep.
yeah, there was some noise. Well, Trent freaked out a little bit because something like touched his leg in the hammock, and
Well,
Yeah.
there's mice. There's mice.
Yeah,
there
there's mice running around, but
Was that the first night or the
that was
second
the first night.
Second
Well,
night
the
was the
second
mice.
night was the mice.
The
The
second
first
night
night
was the
was
mice.
the
You're right.
the
Just dead
isolation.
quiet,
Yeah.
yeah.
But remember, something touched his leg, and he kind of freaked out.
yeah, I think it was just like a stick or something
Yeah.
next to his hammock.
because it was like
Yeah,
so
you're right.
dead.
Because there was no mice.
There
the
was
first
no
night. Yeah.
no, there was no anything.
Nothing.
But then the second
mice
day,
are quiet
like
as shit.
Well,
so.
I mean, we heard the next night.
the next day we did.
we
though.
did. You could hear mice just
Oh, yeah.
chirping.
They said these guys are little bitches. We're gonna go.
Well, we
freak
picked
'em
we
out.
picked a place that wasn't as terrifying. Like, we were on this really well. That's what the UP is cool for. Like
that
you-
was up by Pictured Rocks
Yeah.
the second night where we camped.
Well, that's an awesome place.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, because you can. I mean, it's just amazing. There's no people up there, so you can just like, oh, this looks good. Yeah. Put our
Yeah,
hands
I
up.
mean,
like-
in like Michigan laws, you just gotta be what 5 miles away, or not even that, 2 miles away from
A campground.
campground. Yeah,
Can't be in between there.
And
To
you
do
just,
what? To you
Just
to-
camp.
Just
If it's
camp, yeah.
just state property, you can just camp.
You just get these rustic camping slips or whatever off the internet, and like wherever you camp, you're supposed to put this little thing up that says your name, your phone number,
Yeah.
and when you were there. That way, like if for some reason you leave a big bag of trash, your name is attached to
What
it.
about if you go missing?
well, I guess
too.
that
I tell you
never
what,
thought
where
about
we
it
were,
like
where we
that.
were, they weren't finding us.
they were
Maybe that's what that guy at Walmart thought. He put that little thing up on his bumper. And he's like, no, I made a
campsite.
deal with Walmart. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's not, dude. That's not camping. You're in a Walmart parking lot. You dummy. Oh, Jesus.
But yeah,
Christ.
I still to this day have never had like such silence in my life.
No, it was
It was creepy. Like you could see why people go.
There was one
insane.
other time when we drove to Vegas hauling the show truck out
That
to
is
the
true,
SEMA
you're
show.
right. That
We
was
stopped at this truck stop in Utah or something.
Utah,
Yeah, because we needed fuel. We
Yeah.
just got out of the mountains and everything, and there's this exit, and it's like, oh yeah, there's a gas station here according to the sign. Well, we get off, and it turns out the gas station's like 5 miles away.
Yeah.
So we drive all the way to this gas station. It's like 2:00 in the morning, and we get out and turn off the truck, and it is dead.
dead.
Like
Nobody's at the gas
There's-
station?
nobody's there besides the person inside working, and they have no like music playing, nothing. It's just like creepy
Silent.
dead.
And we're in the.
silent.
It's like the desert too. So
Yeah.
there's just
There's
So there's no
nothing.
like Speedway TV?
no.
No,
there-
no.
GSTV.
yeah.
Oh my
Well,
god.
we should say in the UP, you were driving the Bombardier. That the
Yeah.
one you finally got was the Bombardier with the solid axle and the
Yep.
cargo bed on the back.
What's that?
It's a four wheeler.
It's more of a like a utility vehicle.
And you led the whole
Like
way
a
too.
one-seater?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
single
okay,
seater,
yeah.
and it's got a dump bed on the back, and it actually worked out because like we were able to put all the coolers
Yeah.
in it
Yeah.
and stuff, and
Because
bring
we
the
all had
food.
just backpacks,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
So you drive up there and you just spend the night, have fun,
Oh yeah.
drive
Yeah.
back.
just cruise around. And
Sightsee.
How many miles do you go into the woods with that shit?
Probably 150 at the
A
I mean,
150?
oh, we went.
It was probably
we
around
parked
there.
the truck, and then from that town we jumped on. We were on trails the whole
whole
time
time.
from there.
No
we
shit.
took
And then
trails to Pictured
go-
Rocks. And,
Well, we had to do a lot of road driving.
yeah,
Do
we
you-
did hit
Yeah.
the road.
Do
a
you
couple
use a
of times.
GPS?
Just
Like
our
a
phone.
like
No.
a
It's pretty well
phones?
marked up there, though.
It is
Oh,
decently
really
well
well
marked,
marked.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the trails all are marked and everything.
I mean, how many
so-
miles did we end up doing? Like close to 300 miles. Did
Yeah.
we do on
Probably
four-wheelers?
300 in that weekend, Friday,
Oh.
Saturday.
Actually, I
and
think it
then-
was like 330 for some reason. Like
So it's
330.
about 150 to a destination and making your way
Yeah.
back
It-
150.
but the destination is whatever you
not
want to
bad.
make
we
it.
we stopped when we wanted to stop. We had everything with us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because when it was starting to get dark, it's like, hey guys, let's try and find
Find
a
a
place
spot.
to get,
Get
set
fire
up camp.
going,
And
cook.
We
cook
got
some
the
food.
side by side broke down once, which was kind of fun.
yeah, blew a fuse, fuel pump fuse.
Had to
So
haul
what do
it.
you do in that situation when you're out in the middle of nowhere and you need a fuse? Do you
I-
bring all that shit?
Well, normally stuff like that, they have like extra fuses that come with them.
In
And,
the
but
in the like
in the fuse
yeah.
panel, yeah. But like at first we weren't thinking like, why don't we just check all this stuff? So we're like, oh, let's just hook up a strap and start towing it and figure
Yeah.
out where we can get back. And that just took a bad turn because we ended up on a trail that didn't exist. Like the map showed it was there, but like it didn't go anywhere.
there's just
And
trees.
trying to turn around to side by side that's dead is just a nightmare. And so I don't even know. I think you jumped on the quad and you were going to try and find a way out. And I started tinkering with the side by side, taking stuff apart, and it's like, oh, here's just a bad fuse, and swapped out a fuse, fired right up, and we're
All of a sudden, we're
back
back
on the
on.
road.
Yeah, that was the only issue.
I mean, yeah, but then like we try to go to the same place we
Yeah,
did the
that's
year
right.
before Max
Perch Lake.
died,
Yeah.
and it just like you could tell like it's
Development
like,
was
Developed
happening.
over a year,
Yeah.
which was crazy.
So
Years.
Max almost died. You try to attempt this again.
a year
Because
later.
the place
No,
was
it
so
was a
beautiful.
couple
It was
years.
amazing.
It was what, 4 years?
It was
later?
2 or 3
Did
years.
you bring more blankets?
Yeah, I was
No.
prepared that time.
Not really.
Yeah.
It was like I think it was,
I brought 2 tinfoil
Yeah.
blankets this time.
I think it was 4 years difference from when
I
we
think it was
first
4
camped
years
there,
different.
Really?
and then we were trying to find it because in that 4 years, like a road kind of got put in,
Yeah.
and there are houses that were starting to be built,
Yeah.
like around this little lake that
starting to
originally
be
was
built,
in the
yeah.
middle
Nothing.
of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So they're developing around a lake.
Around the
Yeah.
UP, yeah.
yeah, and it's like totally like 20, 30, 40 miles away from any
Dude,
town.
yeah, they must be running out of space on the lower peninsula.
Well,
then.
well, it's the UP. I mean, it's the most.
It's beautiful.
Gorgeous. I mean, any
It
that
is.
lake anywhere else on Earth
Oh,
would
it'd
have
be
multi-million-dollar houses
Exactly.
on it, all wrapped around it. I mean, it's shocking.
And when
how
we
cool
first
it is.
found it, there was nothing there. Like we walked out there, and it
Oh,
was
we were
kind of
sh-
cool because there's like a peat
Oh, yeah.
bog around it, so you could actually walk across the water like on this floating bog before you actually got to the water. It was really
Float-
cool.
You could walk on ice.
No, it's like
it's like a marsh.
it was like
It's-
weeds or
it's
like
like weeds.
woven together that
Yeah.
float.
Oh.
It's crazy.
We didn't realize it till we were like, I don't know, 100 feet.
We thought
in
it
the
was
water,
just normal ground,
and we just realized like, hey, we're
we're moving.
kind of floating.
And
a
like
little
you could
bit.
start
Yeah.
bouncing, and like you could watch the other person like catch your waves from underneath you. And
That's a real thing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
We were
It was-
pretty
Wait a
far
minute,
from
wait-
the shore at that point.
I was
too.
gonna say where is this at?
the UP by Pictured Rocks.
Okay.
Munising.
So it's essentially a grassland that's over flooded, and then like
it's
No,
like
they're
hard to
just-
explain.
It's
like,
just a bog, I think.
yeah,
it's called.
that's literally
Yeah,
a bog. But it's
is
like
that what if you fell through? You'd be
in
fucked.
water.
You'd be under, yeah.
You'd be under.
There's
I mean,
no way to
I
come.
don't know
your
how deep
foot-
it was
I
at
don't know
that
how
point,
deep it was
but,
either.
yeah.
I mean, like my foot went through. I remember once. My
Definitely.
Foot
Did you
got
touch?
wet.
You s-
No,
touched
I
sand?
just only 1 foot did, so I caught
But
myself.
dude, what if it was like 10 feet and you
Oh,
can't get?
Oh, it'd be
yourself-
terrible.
Dude,
It'd be
it'd be
terrifying.
terrifying.
It'd be
Yeah.
terrifying.
You'd be dead.
It'd be worse than ice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't. You're trying to pull weeds. and
Yeah.
shit. I don't know what it's.
I don't know what it would
Yeah.
look like
Don't know,
underneath.
but
It would be
Maybe
be
it's
scary.
wild.
We'll have to like look that up.
Well,
I'm
we've
curious as
been
shit now.
we've been going for about an hour. So,
Oh, sure.
anything else at this point? You got any shows coming up or? SEMA's passed, right?
Seamus
and
What's
coming
SEMA?
again. It's like the world's biggest aftermarket car show. It's out in Las
Car
Vegas.
show, really.
Dude, this is the second time we've had Las Vegas just brought up. Like, it's what you guys go to Las Vegas recently, or is it gonna be?
Every year,
November?
every year we go in November to SEMA, and
And
we're trying. Like right now, we're hoping to build a vehicle for Ford Motor Company. We
Oh,
put
nice.
in our proposal.
Oh, nice.
And
And a rendering
And
and,
a
everything
rendering
like that.
and-
So you have to. They give you. You
It's
sign up for it.
you sign up, and then it's $1 car. So we literally pay $1 for it because pretty much just
They
gotta pay
send
tax.
you a truck
What
for
we-
$1.
For $1 because you have to.
You have
'Cause
to
the state of
theoretically
Michigan,
buy
you
it,
have to
yeah,
buy it.
to have
Oh,
a
yeah,
title.
yeah.
And so it's $1 roughly, or whatever it is. Usually they call it $1 cars.
Yeah.
And then you have your obligations to keep it. I think 2 years,
And
and
you
you
have
have
to-
to do so many shows with it.
You have to take it to certain shows, and like from our rendering, we have it set up with customized bumpers and stuff,
Yeah.
and suspension, wheels and tires, a cool interior, just stuff to like make it different.
Yeah.
because it's a new release vehicle that Ford has coming out, and so if we do get it, like we have to keep it for 2 years, and in our proposal, there's like 8 shows a year you have to take it to, and we have to specify
Yeah.
where we're gonna take it.
Yep.
And all that kind of stuff.
So you have to have a paper trail of like, hey, we're utilizing your car
Yeah.
for promotion.
We're doing what we said
Exactly.
we were gonna
Way,
do.
yeah. Like it'll be like the International Auto Show was
Okay.
one that we were gonna take it to.
So I have a question for all three of you because Max worked in the GM setting for a while. You guys work with cars. What I recently on the highway I seen it. What I thought was a Ford vehicle or maybe a Chevy. Or I don't know what it was, but it had this bulky, looked like a leather case around it.
Yep.
Why are they driving that on the roads?
That's for like testing.
Camouflage.
Yeah, it's a camouflage. So
Okay.
the new body style or whatever.
they don't
isn't
want
seen,
nobody to see it.
They don't want
But
That's
they
what
have
it
to
is.
be able to
Oh,
put
okay.
miles on it to make sure the new drivetrain is working
Validation,
right,
everything.
and
Oh, okay.
it just wear and tear. Make sure there isn't a bad angle on a CV
So
shaft.
there's a
and-
guy driving it,
Yeah.
and he's driving it every day to see
There's
the day to day.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
where-
there's jobs where you could literally just drive. a lot of times they'll drive up to the Mackinac Bridge
and drive back.
down.
And that's
down.
their everyday job.
Everyday job.
What?
Yep.
Just to
Just-
put
I want
miles.
that fucking job.
Yeah. I
to
mean,
put
that's
miles
kind
in
of
a brand new car,
And
too.
the thing is, I think
In a
like,
brand new car
it's
with
hard
a-
to get people because not everybody wants to do that.
Oh yeah.
I do it.
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
You do the same thing. You just
Hey,
haul on
can
a lot
you
of
call?
batteries.
Yeah, I got to do a lot of work when I drive a lot. Like, okay, can you talk to your people? and
Yeah,
my people talk to your people.
I think I mean that's for sure. I mean,
Dude,
Yeah.
I'll drive and just hang out.
That's all it
That's
is. You
fine.
just drive, but like you have to be like, like I think they do like fuel mileage testing.
Yep.
So it's like, oh, you got to be at 70 today, just so you can't go over the speed limit. But
Oh, that's fine.
Right.
That's
I mean,
no
yeah.
big
You got.
deal.
I'm sure you have so many more rules.
I
Than
do.
that,
Yeah,
probably.
there's a
100%.
million fucking
100%.
more rules. I literally.
but then you get to drive the new stuff
Yeah.
That's
before
what I'm
anybody else.
saying.
Right.
And you don't get to see the outside. You just get to hang out on the inside.
Right.
And go, oh, this is cool.
It's so many fun how many websites have like people that just follow those cars
yeah,
around and
man.
just try to get them like
Pictures.
Yeah,
I mean,
if
they
you
go
want
like
pictures,
clockwork.
go to McDonald's at 5 o'clock in the
Exactly.
morning at
Yeah.
Bertrand.
Yeah.
They are always there.
That's
always
what
in the
I was gonna
parking
say.
lot.
I
Yeah.
seen him there. I see him on 75 headed north,
Mm-hmm.
which makes sense why you're saying they're going to Mackinac Bridge
Yep.
and come back down. But then I see that same concept of where they got like a blanket over the car. Then there's cars where it has like this weird white.
It's like a
checkered-
wrap.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like a
Yeah.
wrap.
Yeah,
it's hard to
It's
like.
getting closer.
It's so you
to
can't
production,
define body lines
But
and
then
stuff
they
like
can
that.
start getting aero, so they can start getting fuel mileage with this. But it still is like, man, I really can't tell the
Yeah.
lines on that vehicle.
well, that's what I was gonna say. That's the only part I did know is that to take a photo of it fucks up the camera lens. It like
Pretty much,
doesn't
yeah.
doesn't give you a distinction of
yes.
like look
Doesn't
at this
give
new
you depth.
Ford line. Okay.
Right, like any lines.
But they can actually give an accurate measurement of fuel mileage,
mileage,
because you don't have a
exactly.
big garbage bag over the
Exactly.
truck. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's
not covered
well,
in pillows.
so you're getting
Shit.
more into production.
I wish I
now.
asked you guys this a long time ago because I see this all the
Yeah.
time, and I'm still like,
And then
what's
they
going on?
release it, and then they'll take it all off.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then
Shit.
they do their thing. That's when I think.
Maybe you
really-
guys
pretty
should start
close at
doing
that
that
point.
to create hype. They're like,
Yeah.
oh shit, Ford's releasing this new 12-foot tall truck, and it's up this high above my head. I can drive my car under it. I wonder what's gonna happen. And then you take it off the reveal. Oh man,
Yeah,
that's good.
they
Go to Vegas, drive Vegas like that.
I mean, people do it at Vegas. They tried to make it like a big show and stuff like
Did you guys
you
do Snowfest this year with the
No, we
with
didn't
the track
do it.
Jeep?
No, we
Not
didn't.
Oh,
this
there's a
year.
snow fest.
Yeah, in
I'm
Frankenmuth.
learning
Oh,
a
then
lot
Frank-
here.
Well, that's like
Frankenmuth
a so like the
Snowfest, yeah.
sculptures.
Oh yeah, it was too fucking warm for that. All their shit melted.
Yeah,
and
this
shit.
year was bad for it. But like in years past, we've had like cool Jeeps that we built that we put snow tracks on and
Oh,
stuff
okay.
and had them up there on display and
like the
yeah.
the tracks, like the truck.
Think of it literally like a triangle track.
Yeah,
on
like an
all four
army
tires.
tank type
Yes.
of thing.
Yes,
Yeah,
on all
Oh.
four corners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've seen that before.
You, at the
'Cause
auto
there's been
show,
there's-
you and like
yeah, there's been a couple years we've gone. I've seen a Jeep with
Very
tracks
possible.
or a vehicle with tracks. That was you guys.
That was us. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
We kind of burned that thing up last year.
That
it's hard to
thing got
drive.
ran
I
hard.
imagine.
It
right?
was hard to drive, but we took it out on the trails up at my parents' cabin, like
Oh.
on snowmobile trails, because it's legal. Because
It's a track
It's a
vehicle.
track vehicle. Yeah.
Even though it's a full.
Yeah.
As long as it's a
But
track
it has
vehicle.
tracks.
Yeah.
You could take it. It's like a snowmobile.
The
Oh.
thing was fun because we put a turbo on it and everything, so like it moved pretty good. It had like 450, 500 horse, but I mean, when you're
In a
turning
Jeep.
tracks, it's hard on a
It is
vehicle.
it's really hard on that.
Well, all that gearing has to move now. What 3 wheels per axle or per side now?
Yeah, pretty
Technically,
much. Yeah, it's really hard.
It's
on 'em.
hard on it, and
That's crazy.
that one Jeep didn't have everything upgraded as much as it should have been.
We should have
and
put bigger axles
bigger
underneath it. We
axles,
didn't
yeah.
on that one. And
So one more question. You ever take that shit off some sweet jumps?
only the Jambo.
Only the Jambo? Damn it. I thought you guys were going to tell me to jump some shit.
Once I get my Jeep put together, I'll be
Okay.
jumping.
Well,
that.
then we're going to film that shit because
Yeah.
I want to utilize the Jambo thing. We're going to put this like just right in the middle. I just want to see that green big. He showed me videos of
Yeah.
it, dude. It's fucking
We'll get it up.
hilarious.
Oh yeah, it's great. It hurt too.
It hit
man.
on the back too. That's the
Yeah,
best
the
back
part.
bumper
It
hit
hit
the
down
ground
and then
and-
it bounced.
I mean, it wasn't meant
Oh
to
my
jump.
God.
no, that was
Wasn't
Now
meant
his
to
Jeep
jump,
he's
but-
building right now he'll be able
Not
to
meant to
like
jump.
just
do whatever I
launch.
want. It'll be awesome.
When do you think that's gonna be jumping?
it better be done in a month.
I got a month
Okay.
theoretically to have it done to take it out to Moab for Easter Jeep Safari. So right now it's in about 1,000 pieces in my garage and his dad's garage. So I
Two
got a lot of work to
garages.
do in the next
Yeah.
month.
Yeah,
Jesus.
it's possible. We built 2 Jeeps in 2
2
weeks
weeks.
last
Jeez.
year to go out and do the same thing. So that's why I said, well, We only got one to do this year, so let's get on it.
You
Then.
just, yeah.
But I know there was late nights.
Did you
every
guys ever excel in math?
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
night. I wasn't the greatest. At it.
Okay.
Not me.
I just was wondering because there's a
PJ,
lot of
I
math
never really
involved.
applied myself
Yeah.
in high school to like actual school stuff, but
Yeah.
I'm good at math. Like
Yeah.
when my wife was going through college, I was helping her with all
Yeah.
of her like math homework and stuff like that. But
Well, the way you think through shit, like when we were at your second bachelor party and the boat didn't start,
Oh, he's just a mechanic.
and you just jumped into
PJ's
engine
a natural.
bay.
Yeah,
and-
PJ's a natural born mechanic.
if I can take it apart, I can put it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That mechanical mind is kind of cool to have. Just that
It
you
is.
can
I can
visualize
see how
what's-
things work.
Yeah.
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 You just visualize how it's moving.
Yep.
You couldn't necessarily fix it, but you can at least understand what
Yeah.
needs to happen
He
to
can
make
fix
it work.
it.
Yeah.
Suspension?
Normally, I can figure out how to fix it.
He
too.
can fix it too.
A wizard. He's really good at like engines. Yeah, it's not your strongest suit.
Learning on those
Yeah.
still.
Yeah, those
But
are-
suspension wise, he's a wizard.
Yeah, that's great.
awesome.
He's a wizard.
Well, I wish you were around when we had the band because that shit needed suspension work.
yeah.
I just see there's a word right there, dude. Suspension.
Suspension.
Another one of the words.
Yeah.
We'll do
Well,
that,
awesome.
Chuck
That
Farm.
was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
Awesome.
No
Thanks,
problem.
guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
the sound
thanks for
up.
having us.
Yeah,
That was
thank you.
awesome. Thanks.